go. Hey guys, this is Troy McKnight actually coming at you with another Facebook Live this morning. Actually got my friend Bardi on here. Bardi is a superstar. She specializes in branding and gratitude. She's actually gonna talk to you guys today a little bit about her story and how she was able to build her brand without spending a dollar and getting in contact with some people that most people can't even get close to. So take it away, Bardi. Introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about you.
Oh my God. I was a nurse. I took the love of helping other people onto the internet. I'm just going to be transparent and real. Hated my job, hated my life, dreaded going to work at, you know, dreaded to going to sleep because the next morning I had to go to work. And I'm sure, you know, most people watching this know that feeling. And back in 1997, maybe it was not 1997, like early 2000s, I literally decided to start my own branding and marketing firm. And I took a 50-foot telephone wire, put it on base housing, didn't make excuses, just found someone that knew more than I did. And I said, teach me how to run rather than crawl. And had a guy take $1,000 from me and sell me information. And that was my turning point. And I know you've been there before, Troy. And I said, never again. I would always show people how to do it, not tell them what to do, because this person sold me whatever it was for $1,000 to tell me what to do. So I've lived my life. My foundation of my business and my life is gratitude and showing people how, step by step, how to do it. And the past 14 years, you're right, I haven't spent a dime. I've done everything through asking and gratitude. Yeah, I wrote the book, The Power of Asking, and a lot of people don't realize asking is a form of gratitude and it starts with a friend request. But I ask big and I've done it all through gratitude. And a lot of people don't get the concept because they think of gratitude Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and they don't practice it the rest of the year. That makes sense. So everything I've done and what we talked about earlier, yes, I've reached people that are very untouchable. People sit here and they're like, how did you get to this person? How did you get to that person? And honestly, it's been through gratitude and asking.
That's powerful within itself, Barty. And I just think about even how we met. You came through my town and you shot me a message, and because you was on with some guys and you was talking about your book and talking about gratitude, resistance, and all of that. And I was following you guys, and I've been following you for a long period of time. And you shot me a message, say, "Hey, Troy, I'm in town," and I gave you my number. That's gratitude right there, just from you reaching out to me. And I reached back and we sat down and talked for, about 30 minutes or whatever. We shot a video together and a lot of people liked it. And actually,
oh, yeah. Viral.
I got your book right here. And I've been promising myself that to read it. And when people look at that book, they think it's more about branding. But man, that first part about resistance is powerful. Could you tell us a little bit about why the first part of the book talks about resistance?
Yeah. When I was writing the book, as you know, I did an interview with Gary Vaynerchuk, and this was several months ago. And I went to him to talk to him about my book. And originally, the book was going to be about branding. And I sat there and I said, something hit me. It was like, no, I have to talk about resistance because I can train anyone on how to brand themselves, social media. You can bring people up in your company. You can bring them up as leaders. You can show them how. You can tell them what to do. You can do everything. But if they have a problem with resistance, there is nothing on God's green earth that you and I can do to help them. Because for a long time, I had people who would pay me, and then I got my feelings hurt. I'm like, why are they not doing anything? I know I showed them how. And then I heard someone's story how it was through my mentor that this guy was in network marketing. He was building $1 million company and he just stopped talking to people. And what his problem was is he didn't want any more people like the ones he had. And what their problem was resistance. And it wasn't until he realized that it was their problem with resistance that he was free. And the same thing with me is I sat here and I'm like, you know what? Anything in life, whether it's asking someone on a date, whether it's calling someone on the phone, whether it's even driving across town to go get your kid and knowing you're getting stuff in traffic. Resistance is really avoidance. Avoidance is fear. If you think of everything that you resist, the bottom line is avoidance. And avoidance, the root of avoidance is fear. So if
Wow.
you resist, let's say, calling that person, reaching out to that person. The first video I did was a testimonial on Michael Beckwith. I had gone to a conference. If I had never made that video, and the video is just a 2-minute testimonial, and it said, I would love for him to write the foreword of my book. And the next thing I know, now I know how to get on the front page of YouTube and Google in a matter of seconds. And I guess he was looking for videos that had his name in it, and he wondered who this girl was. And he called me on the phone. He says, I would love to write the testimonial of your book. And I about dropped the phone, seriously, because he had just been on Oprah and all this other stuff. And I said, oh my God, if I had never made that video, my life wouldn't be different. And I started telling my story on YouTube, and I had people, I was in a book with Muhammad Ali, with Jim Rohn, with some other people back in early, I'd say 2007. And I didn't pay to be in the book. It was a compilation. It was, I was just telling my story, and people, got attracted to that, like what we said with gratitude. But resistance is huge.
Yeah.
If you have any resistance, you're screwed. I mean, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and that's powerful within itself, Bardi. And just from you just sharing your story, I think a lot of people miss that. Even myself. Me and you had a conversation. I did a 14-day video challenge that Ray Higgins put on, and that was like my breakthrough because I struggled with resistance for a long period of time. I wouldn't share my story. I wouldn't do videos. I wouldn't do anything because.
Did
Go ahead.
14 He did a 14. That's funny because my mentor did a 30 with me. He said, I remember in 2006, actually, one of my mentor was a friend of mine, and in a down economy, it was just back in 2007 when the economy crashed. He was selling houses like crazy. I said, what are you doing? He's like, I'm on YouTube. I said, what's YouTube? He goes, make a video, a video every day for 30 days and watch what happens. And he goes, I bet you won't do it. And I'm like, oh, I'm an alpha, like, okay, game on. And about 14 days into it, I was like, this is not going to work. It went viral. And the thing is, now things have changed. Now it's like lives, making comments. How Gary and I talk about making comments, and I beat it like a dead horse, which is a form of gratitude. That's the problem right now on the internet. People have been taught by Facebook to like, and by Twitter to retweet, or by Instagram to, follow. And it's lazy. It takes 5 seconds to make a comment. And when you make a comment, and that's how, I got to Gary Vee. That's how I got to Mike Ditka. That's how I got to Real Talk Kim. That's how I got to TD Jakes. I mean, TD Jakes, Real Talk Kim, Gary Vee, they all came from Instagram. I mean, some stuff has come from Facebook, but the majority is Instagram and Twitter, believe it or not, and YouTube.
Well,
So
that's powerful. I mean, Bardi, that's how we connected. I mean, you said you had kind of been following me, watching my interviews, watching me do Facebook Lives. And if I would have never did a Facebook Live or never stepped out to do the 14-day challenge, I would have never met you. And
exactly.
just think about that. And then you did a live, and I commented on it a few times, and that's how we connected. And I think a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, it's funny. A few months ago, I started something called a comment challenge. Make 20 comments a day to someone. It literally takes less than 10 minutes. And first, a friend request, okay, asking them to be your friend. A lot of people miss this. They think, well, because they don't know me, why would I ask them to be my friend? Why not? When you go to church, when you go to a conference, when you go like to network marketing events, whatever event you go to, you don't know these people. You go in a restaurant, you don't know these people. You start talking, you say, oh, I'd love to collaborate. Give me your card. Okay, sounds good. Let's set up a phone call. Same concept, just shifting it to social media, adding people as a friend. Like I asked Big, I have no problem. Like most people don't know this, but back in, I think it was 2012, Hurricane Sandy, NBC contacted me and they said, we want you to help us get this word out. There's a hurricane coming that's 1,500 miles wide. It's coming in 5 days. And I'm thinking, are you joking? And they're like, we can't, we would pay you, but we can't at this point. We just need to get it out. And so I was the one that got the news out all over social media that this, hurricane was coming. And the guy found me on LinkedIn, and I'll never forget his name. It was one person. But from that one person, you know how LinkedIn says you know someone? People were like, well, if she knows that person, she must be important.
Yeah, yeah.
It went viral. So I was not afraid to ask him for a friend request. I mean, I knew he was from Tucson, Arizona, where I lived at the time, and I knew he worked for NBC, but it's like, I was honestly, that's when my book was coming out, and I was only friend requesting people that were involved with TV, anchor people, TV people, because those are the people I wanted to get to know and let them know about my book, not sell them, but let them get to know more about what I was doing and learn more about them. And so I was honing in on a niche market, and I was asking Big, and with no fear, because I'm like, Les Brown, who is my mentor, who has also endorsed me, he says, we all put our pants on the same way. We all go to the bathroom the same way. Just because you don't know someone on Facebook or whatever as a friend, I mean, ask. Most people will say yes to you because somebody said yes to them. And that's where it all starts, is with a friend request on social media, and ask, and then making a comment. Make 20 comments a day, and you will watch your world open up.
Bardi, you got to talking about the power of asking. Me, I'm in network marketing. I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long period of time, right? And I
Yeah.
deal with so many great people. Both of us. We see some awesome people, amazing people. But one of the challenges that people have is asking. They really worried about that, and that always boils back down to resistance, and that can be frustrating to a person like myself and even yourself as you work with people, just trying to help them get through that breakthrough point. I know you're doing a 21-day gratitude challenge right now. So could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, the 21-day gratitude challenge is not just about gratitude on a personal level. It's how I have reached these people. I'm going to give you a few examples. Um, you know, the gratitude challenge is for business. Um, Forbes did a story on me, how gratitude advances marketing and branding. Entrepreneur did a story on me, the power of gratitude. I help businesses implement gratitude into their business, whether they're a solo entrepreneur, whether they're in car sales, it could be the dealership, it could be, whoever it is how to implement gratitude into their business, which is about building relationships, long connections. You want to build long-term business development relationships, long-term relationships, not short-term. I'm just in it for my next rent, my next paycheck. But Bardi, oh, Troy, you don't understand COVID. I need money now. Okay, that's great. But if you go from that standpoint, it's not going to work. And so I'm teaching like little, things for business. I'll give you an example. What we talked about, one, making comments or sending a video DM, or certain things that I've done to get to know someone. Like, it's not what you say, but how you say it. I'm even teaching in this gratitude challenge, like when you look at someone's profile, how to communicate with them. Because believe it or not, the number one question I get is, once I'm friends with someone, what do I say? I'm
Oh,
serious. I mean, I've been doing this for so many years, and I'm blown away because it comes natural to me. It comes natural to you. But a lot of people, they're so worried about what people think of them. In fact, in the gratitude challenge, I have 3 audios that I'm sharing. One is fear of rejection, fear of other people, and fear of failure. And the reason I've shared that is what has come up in the past couple of days with people is that I heard one lady yesterday tell me she has this fear of what people think of her. She's even afraid to post, or it's like, oh my gosh, that is the worst form of resistance because you're holding yourself in bondage. But if you're not getting out there, not only you're settling for less, but you're causing your family to settle for less. You're causing people around you to settle for less. You don't realize what you're doing, not just to yourself, but the people around you that you love. And it's like, you got to get out of your own way. And so, the gratitude challenge is really me training for the next 21 days. Some is personal, and some is a lot of it is business, how to implement gratitude on social media into your business. It's more on social media because we're in an environment now where we can't go out and meet people. We can't go to networking events. We can't go to conferences. And I'll be honest with you, it's not going to change for the next year and a half. It won't. Um, it's just not going to. And the nurse side of me is saying that because I know, it's, but
And
it's a really good challenge. A lot of people they're getting tons out of it. They're so happy they did it because it's changed them to where they're like not afraid to ask anymore. They hear my story. I show them, how to communicate with people, how to look at someone's profile and talk to someone. And it's amazing, like what you and I take for granted. Not that we do, but we think that, why not just ask someone? You know, why not just say hi? After you do an ask and you make a comment, you compliment them. Well, how do I compliment them? What do you mean, how do you compliment? I'm serious. And I'm like, look at their profile, find something in their profile, their pictures, their video, pay them a compliment. I think it's amazing what you're up to. I think what you're doing is phenomenal. Or I really, you know, I've always wanted to go to London, or I've always wanted to go to Dubai, or wherever they live. Start a conversation, engage is a form of gratitude. And like I said, asking is a form of gratitude.
and
So
then and I know you got some more stuff too, Bardi. I mean, all the value that you're giving them right now today. I hope people who's actually looking at this live, take it to heart. I know you got a program too that you actually teach. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. You got that. Could you share a little bit about that with them
yeah.
too?
Well, first, the gratitude challenge is at 21daygratitudechallenge.com. It's 21daygratitudechallenge.com. And yeah, you can go on barditotomedia.com. Right now, what I've just done is the past 5 months, I did over 5 new courses, about 120 hours of video, showing people, how to take and we talked about this, their talents and what they love to do and turn it into instant income. So their talents, what they love to do, and how to monetize it, turn it into instant income. But also, yeah, I have courses, Instagram, TikTok, Zoom, live streaming, um, you know, everything that I've done. It's not just, sorry, my allergies are killing me today. It's not just a gratitude piece. There's certain things that you need to do on Instagram that people aren't doing. It's not just about throwing up a picture. It's a lot more than that. Unfortunately, people are being taught um, an ineffective way. There's other ways of doing Instagram that can really blow up your business. A lot of people don't know that if you have over 10,000 followers, you can do swipe ups. You could sell your product. You can sell your service. A lot of people get to know you. You can promote yourself more. If you're, and no offense to people here on Facebook, but if you're just on Facebook, you're incubating yourself. You're limited to 5,000 people, but Facebook has it to where only 1 to 3% of people see your post. If you're not doing lives, people aren't going to see you. If you're not doing videos, people aren't going to see you, period. So yeah, they can go to barditotomedia.com. If they're interested in consulting, whether it's group or one-on-one, they can contact me. I have no problem getting out my phone number. That's also where I show gratitude is I give out my phone number. Of course, a lot of people don't call me because they are like intimidated or afraid to call me. They even tell me they're afraid to call me. I don't look like a, Cruella DeVille, but
But you know the thing about that, Barty, I give out my number a lot. and I reach out to people a lot. And sometimes I reach out to people just to try to help them, or they reach out to me. And the crazy thing about it is they won't call me either. I mean, that's why I tell people. And then some people do call, and I'd be surprised because that shows gratitude just for them reaching out. Because a lot of times when I'm actually giving my number out, I just want to help. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Or give them some information. And guys, what I want to recap on is Bardi actually has been able to get in contact with a lot of people of influence. And from doing that, she haven't spent a dime, right? She's actually got a course that she can teach you step by step on how to do that. The powerful thing about that, I always tell people, documentation is big conversation any given day. You know, me and her both have bought courses that ain't helped us out in no kind of way. People didn't have no kind of documentation. Bardi has the proof, guys. She has the documentation. I would get that program if I was you. I'm actually getting ready to go through it with her, because my thing of it is I want to be able to become more valuable to the marketplace, just like, you know, her. We just want to help as many people as possible. I would grab this book right here. I'm on the first chapter. I would grab this book. I would read this book. I was actually just posting something on the guy. He posted today that a lot of people buy books and don't read them. I don't believe in buying books and don't read them. I don't buy like books just to read. I buy books to learn and become more valuable and become more educated, where I can empower and help more people, just as a Bardi. So Bardi, if you was going to leave them with one tip to actually help them take their life to the next level, what would that tip be?
One, get out of their own way as far as, the resistance. But, as far as their business goes, I mean, on business, is make comments. Stop being lazy and just liking and retweeting. Make a comment and watch where it goes. Step out of your comfort zone. Add people as friends that you would not in a million years think of adding. In the course, I show people how to find these people. Like, it's very easy. If you, I'll give you an example. I mean, this is silly. I saw this guy this is embarrassing. I was in the Navy Exchange and I saw this guy on a billboard, and it was embarrassing. A jockey commercial. Okay, he's in his underwear. But this person was different. He had no legs. He had prosthesis. And I was just blown away at this. And I got his name. You're going to love this. I got his name. I went on Instagram and I looked for him. And I wrote him, I said, and I learned about a story in Afghanistan. He was blown up by an IUD. I think wow. IED. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, this was back in 2012. And I listened to a story, got to know more about him. And I said, can I interview you? And he's like, of course you can. So it's like as simple as, learning about that person, a little bit and adding them as a friend. I know that sounds like a silly story, but like with Gary Vee, back in 2007, I sent him a 2-minute video that said, I really love what you're doing. I think you're amazing. He said he's never forgotten that because nobody's ever done that. And we just built on a friendship from there, that I took the time to take 2 minutes out of my life to do that. Think about it, people. You want people to take time out of your life to train you and to take your business to the next level, but you're not willing to do it yourself. And you and I talked about that yesterday. People are not sharing. They tell people to go share on an opportunity, share a business, share this, share that, but they're not even willing to make a comment or share other people's stuff. So it's a law of reciprocation,
Absolutely, guys. And like I said, if you're not following Bardi on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, she's on TikTok. She's everywhere, guys. You guys actually need to follow her. Actually, and you need to reach out to her. If you got any questions, shoot her a message on any of them platforms. I promise you she would get back with you. When she called and she told me she was in town about 3 weeks ago, I actually gave her my number and she called just like that. Yeah, and I was telling her the story of I've actually been working from home ever since March. I usually used to work at Starbucks all the time, go up there with my laptop. That was the first time I had been in Starbucks since March, and that was a few weeks ago when she was in town. Bardi, I really appreciate. Go ahead.
I was actually in Denver, remember? With Tom and Adrian, and I called you on the phone.
Yep. You had just got off of Facebook Live with them guys, and you called me on the phone. Well, so guys,
you know why I called you? Because you make comments. I mean, and that's the whole thing, is that grabs attention also, people, but do not use gratitude for manipulation. I mean, I have a story that was written about Gary and I that I was actually going to launch this week about ways people use gratitude for manipulation. Do it from the heart, not for a motive or some kind of like, oh, I'm going to be nice to people because I want to get, you know, what they have, or, you know, don't look at people as an opportunity. They're people, you know.
Absolutely, and we want to really empower people and put value in people's lives, especially like in today's time. We want to give people some sort of like hope that they can do better, they can become more. So please don't use this that Barty's teaching you. Don't use it in a bad way, guys. Use it to empower people. So with that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for actually tuning in today. Like I said, if you actually is not following Barty, make sure you follow her. You can look her up on all of social platforms. With that, guys, God bless. I hope me and Barty gave you guys some value today. Do the 21-day gratitude challenge. It will change your life. Grab this book. It will change your life. I guarantee you'll actually really into it. And actually reach out to her, guys, because a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that can help you, but I guarantee you, from what she's done, if you actually get her course, it will help you, teach you how to market the right way on these platforms. With that, guys, God bless. And you guys have an awesome Tuesday and go out and impact the world.